Alright folks, so what we have here is a Nitecore MT21A. The MT is for multitask series, and I'm not sure what the 21A is. I know that it takes two AA batteries, and that might have something to do with it. So anyhow, for this video, it's going to be action-packed. What we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, see how it ships. We're going to compare it to a couple other flashlights that I have in my EDC rotation, and then we're going to finish up with some beam shots. But before we do that, I'm going to encourage everybody to go grab yourself a nice cold one, whatever your beverage is of choice. Come on back, and then we'll get started. Alright, so hopefully everybody made it back. Let's go ahead and get this box open and see what this shipped with. I do want to say real quick that I was sent this flashlight by GearBest. I did not pay for it. They sent it to me for review, and I want to say thank you to them for that. I thought that was pretty generous. And what I also want to say is I know that some people think it's kind of a D-bag behavior to get stuff sent to you for free and review it. What I want to say to that is rest assured that is not the most D-bag thing I've ever done, is get a free flashlight. That being said, I hope everybody sticks around and watches the video. Here we go. Wow, so it doesn't ship with a whole heck of a lot, right? What we have here looks like a little bit of a warranty card. I guess you can fill this out and send it in. And then this goes over some of the features. Let's take a quick look at it. It features the CREE EP-R2 LED. Now, I'm not an expert on CREE bulbs, so I'm going to make this quick. If you have better information, please provide it below. But this is the second generation of the CREE XPE series. It's supposed to have brighter lumens per watt, and it's also a more affordable bulb to make. And you see this bulb in a lot of the budget or value priced flashlights. It's a little bit less expensive to manufacture than like the XPL or the XPG series. And the big driver behind that, or reason, is because it's a little bit less efficient. But what's interesting about this bulb is that let's get this out of here and take a look at this flashlight. It has a very narrow beam focus on it. So what this does with this flashlight is it gets the opportunity to go very far, have a good distance to it. So if you take a look at the box, and let's do that real quick. 260 lumens, which is pretty good for a AA flashlight. I mean, there's some out there that have more. I think that has to do with the efficiency of the bulb we just talked about. It looks like it has a standard runtime of 55 hours. I'm going to assume that's on a lower setting, not a high setting. FL1 standard's 200 meters. So that's pretty good to get a flashlight that can throw 200 meters. And then it has a 10,000 CD. It looks like it's 1.5 meter drop resistant, and it's can be dunked in the water up to 2 meters deep. When you take a look at the back of this, it has 4 modes: strobe, low, medium, and high. So, and like I mentioned earlier, it runs on 2 AA flashlights. And here it talks a little bit about, and I'm not big on instruction manuals, guys. Admittedly, I don't really read them. But when I take a look at this, it talks a little bit about different battery options. And it says primary AA lithium batteries are recommended. Look at that. It looks like the FE LiPo 4 battery, which is an iron phosphate lithium ion, is not recommended, and looks like that rechargeable lithium ion batteries, like a 14500, is banned. So that sucks. We like those kind of batteries. So we're probably going to use rechargeable AA batteries or primary AA batteries in this flashlight. And let's see if there's anything else in this instruction manual that looks like it's worth reading. Let's see. Let me just cover this real quick. No, I'm just kidding. I can't read that. Alright, so let's take a look at this flashlight and see what we got. It has a 1-inch housing, which makes it compatible with other Nitecore diffusers. Here's a Nitecore flashlight that we're going to talk a little bit about, and this is a EA11. So these heads are the same. I doubt that you can switch them between the two devices. This does have the XPL series. I think it's XPL2. It looks like either side of this can come off. Well, I wonder if you can switch them around and get it all boogered up. We're not going to do that. So let's take a quick look at that. You can see that this has a very, hopefully you can see, it has a very deep, I guess you call that a head or emitter on that. And what that does is that allows this narrow focused LED that we spoke about to really really get this thing out there. Let's go ahead and get some batteries in this thing, and then we'll run through the modes. Alright, we're back. We're just going to throw a couple of these copper top Duracells in here for now. Let's see if I can remember how this thing goes back together. Now, if you take a look at this flashlight, a couple things that I notice immediately is that it does not have a pocket clip. And when I take a look at this, there is a teeny hole there for, so you can see that, for a lanyard, and I'm assuming that is what's in this plastic bag. So before we turn this on, let's take a quick look and see what's in here. So that's a lanyard. Nice little Nitecore lanyard. I might put that on there a little bit later. Looks like we have a replacement tail cap, which is handy. And then there are 2 replacement O-rings. Perfect. That's what you need. So like I said, when I take a look at this, I notice that there is no pocket clip, and that might be a deal breaker for some people. It might not. This flashlight runs around $31, $32. I will put a link where you can pick this up from GearBest. That $31, $32 is free shipping. And if I take a look at this, one of the things I noticed, it does not have what is called a crenulated bezel. If you take a look at this, this is a Phoenix LD20. You can see the pocket clip. And just for comparison purposes, these are close to the same size. This is a double A flashlight as well. You can see that this has this crenulated bezel, and people say that that is good for a tactical flashlight in case you have to get a DNA sample from somebody who's acting up. And then if you take a look at the tail cap on here, let's see if I can pull this up and get a little bit of a closer view. You can see that this flashlight can do a tail stand, and that is a big plus. I like that. Keep in mind, this flashlight, I don't think you can buy the LD20s anymore. I've had this for about 3 or 4 years. It's a great flashlight, love it. But this flashlight was $70 when I bought it. This was half the price. This looks to me like it's going to be a great table-side nightstand flashlight. Maybe I'll put it in my car, put it in a backpack, like some sort of kit that I will carry around with me. So I don't need a pocket clip for it. You know, I'm not much of a kung fu fighter, so I doubt I'll be striking anybody. And if I needed to, I think this will work just fine anyway. One thing that I really would like to see on here is if you take a look at the tail cap on this one is that it protrudes the housing, and as a result, no tail stand. And tail standing is actually a pretty handy feature in a flashlight. So yeah, let's go through the modes. I believe that is high. And look at that, it's staying the same. Maybe I gotta, oh, there you go. So I can go through a fast mode, I can go through, there we go. That is a little bit lower, and that is even lower still. So that's the modes. We're going to take a bigger look at those, or a longer look at those outside, so I don't want to spend too much time here. So yeah, that's the flashlight. I really don't have a whole heck of a lot to say. Just compare it to another flashlight like this so you can see some options, see some differences. We're going to go outside, and then we're going to do some beam shots. And in those beam shots, we are going to compare it to this Nitecore EA11. And the reason I'm going to pick this flashlight is a little bit brighter, but it has more flood, less throw. This flashlight has more throw, less flood. So we're going to compare the differences there. All right, folks, I'll see you outside. All right, folks, we are outside, and we're pointing down towards the street. You can't see anything now because it's dark. So I'm going to turn this flashlight on, and we're talking about 20-25 yards out. Okay, I'm not sure which setting this is on because I was playing with the settings, so let's switch between them. Oh, there's a strobe. I guess that's the high. That would be the medium. And then that would be the low, which is coming in a little bit harder. Let me go back up to the high. Oop, I think I passed it. Went into SOS. That's low. That would be strobe. There's the high. And so as you can see, that's a small, concentrated, bright beam. Let me see if I can turn on this other flashlight. And I'm liking this flashlight. It's very comfortable in hand. The knurling on it is not overly grippy, which is something that is always nice. And the interface seems relatively simple. Let's see if I turn it off. I got it set to stay on high right now. So that is working. Alright, so this is the EA11. As you can see, it's a much floodier throw than this one, right? Which is a more of a throwy throw, so it goes further to more concentrated beam. Again, there's the EA11 that I talked about, and here's a flashlight that has the more concentrated bulb that we spoke about earlier. Alright, so right now, up the hill, that's Right Wing Tom's house. And his house is about 75 to 90 yards is what I would guesstimate that at. We're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot this flashlight in high, so it's 260 lumens up towards his house. And as you can see, it lights it up. I'm trying to focus on his garage. Now, to the right of his house, let's turn this a little bit, there's a tree line that I would say is about 100 to 115, 120 yards, somewhere right around there. So that's a bush, so if I go up over that, I'm not sure it's going to come up on the camera, but I can see that tree line pretty good. So all in all, what I'm going to say, let's turn this back on so we can see what's going on. All in all, what I'm going to say is that this flashlight for 30 bucks isn't a bad deal if you're looking for a nice budget-friendly flashlight that you can drop into like an EDC bag or a survival bag, or maybe leave it in the glove box of your car or in the drawer in the kitchen or something like that. I like this flashlight. I'd buy it. Thanks, everybody.